You'll want to remember where we keep the ice packs. Not just for your back, though, yeah, that'll start aching soon enough. Your legs too, probably. But the worst part, the part you can't stretch or medicate or work off, that's the fear. It hits hard and deep like a punch straight to your spine, and when it does, you'll be grateful for something cold to hold on to. That's what this place does to people. I'm Mara, night supervisor. 8 years and counting on the graveyard shift at this Amazon warehouse. Don't bother asking why I'm still here. I stopped having a good answer around year 5. Anyway, welcome to hell. I can already tell you've got questions. Your face says polite confusion, but your eyes, you're already starting to notice the weird stuff, aren't you? The subtle things, like how none of the clocks on the walls match, or how there's a faint smell of static near Packing Zone C. That's where I noticed it first, too. The official orientation won't prepare you for any of it. The safety video? It'll tell you to bend your knees and keep your lanyard visible. It won't tell you what to do when a shadow moves against the airflow. HR handbook? Same story. So I made my own version, my own rules. There are 6. I don't give them to just anyone. Most folks don't last long enough for it to matter, but you look like you might actually listen. Let's start with the first one. Rule 1. If a drone stops above your head and doesn't move for 30 seconds, leave immediately. Do not look up. Do not speak. I broke that rule my 3rd year in. It was maybe 2:15 a.m. or so, middle of my shift. I was in Packing Zone C, wrists taped up from strain, just trying to hit quota without blowing out my shoulder. That's when I noticed it. One of the inventory drones just floating right above me, 10 feet off the ground. No sound, no flashing light. No scanning beam, just hovering like a damn insect that forgot what it was doing. I should have walked, should have dropped the box I was taping and headed straight to the restroom or anywhere else. But I looked up, and the thing about those drones, they've got these round lenses underneath, wide and glossy like a fisheye mirror. You're supposed to see your own reflection in them. Just a little distorted, that's all. Except I didn't see myself. What I saw looked like me, yeah. But not really. Her hair was soaked, her skin all swollen and pale, like she'd been fished out of a lake after too long underwater. Her eyes were open but cloudy. Dead. I blinked. Gone. Drone zipped off like nothing happened. Just another weird glitch in a place full of them. I told myself it was just exhaustion, or maybe the Red Bull was making me see things. Until the next morning. Luis didn't show up. He worked in Zone B, about 50 feet from where that drone had stalled. He was one of those quiet, reliable types, the kind of guy who never missed a shift unless he was in the hospital. But he was gone. The only thing they found was his vest, his bright yellow reflective vest, dangling from the rafters, just hanging there like someone had climbed up and hooked it. No ladder nearby, no footprints, no security alerts. And get this, his scanner kept pinging from up there for 3 days. Like it was still trying to clock in. We submitted a report. Management didn't even blink. They sent in someone to silence the ping, took down the vest, and handed out grief pamphlets. That was it. I never saw Luis again, and I never looked up at a frozen drone after that. So if you hear that faint whirring above your head and it stays still longer than it should, don't ask questions. Don't try to be brave. Just walk away. And never, ever look up. The second night's always the worst. Your muscles ache in new places, your eyelids feel like sandpaper, and the novelty of it all has worn off. That's when most new hires start trying to distract themselves, cracking jokes, making the job a little less bleak. That's exactly what Callie did. She was seasonal, barely 19, pink streak in her hair, nervous energy like a hummingbird on caffeine. Real sweet kid. Would have been funny in a coffee shop, not a warehouse. She worked in sorting, right across from where you're posted now. She liked to joke about the scanners, called them possessed. Every time they threw an error, she'd hold it up and announce, "Ooh, the box has chosen violence." That kind of thing. Harmless. Until it wasn't. Rule 2. If a package scans with the wrong destination 3 times, drop it in the red bin. Do not touch it again. The box looked normal. Maybe a little beat up on the corners. Probably a return. I remember it was around 1:30 a.m. when I passed Callie's station and saw her holding it, laughing. She said the scanner was being dramatic. First scan, error, said the box was bound for California. Second scan, error, Said it was going to a P.O. box in Maine. Third scan, error, no destination at all, just a blank screen. That's when I told her to drop it in the red bin. She looked at me like I'd just told her to bury treasure. "You're serious?" she asked. "It's just a glitch." She scanned again. Nothing. Then she shrugged and popped the flaps open. I'll never forget the sound she made. Sort of a sharp gasp, but like it caught in her throat. She stumbled back, knocking over one of the empty totes. By the time I got to her, she was crouched behind the conveyor belt, arms wrapped around her knees, whispering to herself. Nonsense. Total gibberish. Her eyes were locked on something inside the box. I couldn't see what it was. Just black void, like the inside was deeper than the dimensions should allow. Then her scanner made this awful fizzing noise and started to smoke. When we pried it open later, the inside was melted, fused plastic, and scorched circuitry like someone had put it in a microwave. Security pulled the footage. It showed her looking into the box, then sobbing. But what she saw? That wasn't visible. Just a blank feed, white static for 7 seconds. And when they checked the box afterward, it was empty. Completely, impossibly empty. Management called it a mental health concern. They put her on leave. She never came back. That same night, 2 guys from facilities came and repainted her station. New metal plate over the wall, fresh coat of white over the old gray. The next morning, I ran my hand over the fresh paint. Felt smooth, until I leaned in close and caught the shape under the new coat. Handprints, 5 of them. Scorched into the drywall like they'd been left there in fire. So now you know, if a package scans wrong 3 times, don't get cute, don't get curious, just drop it in the red bin. Let it go. Whatever's inside doesn't belong to us, and we sure as hell don't belong to it. I used to think the scariest part of working here was the machinery, the speed, the weight, the way things could go wrong with one small mistake. But that was before aisle 17. It's not near your station, thank God. It runs along the far wall, past receiving and down near where they keep overflow inventory. Pallets of returns and stuff we're not supposed to sort yet. You'd have no reason to go down there. But I need you to promise you won't. Not after 3 a.m. Not even if someone calls your name. Rule 3. Never enter aisle 17 after 3 a.m., even if someone calls your name. Especially then. Harold didn't listen. He was one of the old-timers, been around longer than me. The kind of guy who wore his badge like a sheriff's star and got annoyed if anyone else cleaned up his area. He was proud of his record. So when the system flagged a misrouted crate around 3:12 a.m., Harold took it personally. Said he'd go straighten it out himself. I told him not to. Everyone did. He just laughed and said, "I'll be in and out before you even notice." His badge scanned him in at the start of aisle 17. But after that, nothing. The motion sensors went dark. Radio only gave back static. Cameras glitched. And when his shift ended, he didn't clock out. Didn't answer texts. Didn't show up at his locker. We checked the aisle during daylight hours. It looked fine, normal. Except for the weird dead zone. No signal, no scanner function, nothing electrical working past a certain point. Then at exactly 4:04 p.m., inventory found his ID card. Just sitting there, centered on a shelf halfway down the aisle. But here's the thing. That shelf doesn't exist on any warehouse map. I checked myself. Our master plan shows a gap in that section, like the shelving ends before it even reaches that far. But it's there now. Cold metal. Full of product that no one can account for. I walked past it once, daytime, broad daylight, and I swear I heard humming. A slow, off-key tune. Real old sounding. Like someone trying to remember a lullaby. It was Harold's voice. I recognized it. I didn't stop. Didn't say anything. Just kept walking. Later, I looked up the crate number that sent him down there. It never existed. Was never scanned. Was never entered. Just a ghost ping sent straight to Harold. So, if your scanner lights up and tells you to head down to 17 in the dead of night, ignore it. I don't care if the floor supervisor is screaming through your headset. Don't go. And if you hear your name from that direction, especially if the voice sounds familiar, just keep your head down and walk away. The warehouse doesn't forget who goes in there, and it doesn't like to give them back. You ever see something that just feels off? Not dramatic, not supernatural, just quietly, deeply wrong. Like your brain keeps poking you with a stick, trying to get your legs moving in the opposite direction. That's how it starts. Stillness. in a place that's never still. You've heard the constant soundscape by now. Totes rattling down the rails, footfalls, conveyor belts humming, scanners chirping every few seconds. There's always something moving. Always. So when someone's just standing there, motionless, expressionless, it doesn't look eerie at first. Just strange. You assume they're tired, maybe taking a breather, maybe zoning out. But here's the truth. If they're beside a conveyor and not moving, they're not one of us anymore. Rule 4. If a worker is standing still beside a conveyor, do not speak to them. Do not touch them. If they turn to look at you, run. It happened to Reggie, forklift certified. Always had music playing through one earbud. The kind of guy who would bring snacks for the whole team, even if no one asked. It was around 2:40 a.m. when he saw someone by the chute and receiving. Just standing there, back to the belt. Arms at their sides, no scanning, no movement. Reggie thought they passed out. He stopped the forklift, called out a couple of times. No answer. So he walked over. He was maybe 5 feet away when he told me the air changed, said it felt like the temperature dropped 20 degrees all at once. His glasses fogged up. He still didn't turn back. Still thought he was helping someone. He reached out, tapped them on the shoulder. They turned. He only got a glimpse. But he said their eyes weren't eyes at all, just orbs of solid white light, like twin LED beams, and their mouth opened. Not like a yawn, not like a scream. He said it opened the wrong way, split downward like a zipper, too wide and too fast. Reggie screamed, hard. They had to sedate him. By the time the medics got there, both he and the worker were gone. Vanished. The camera feed, white screen. 8 full seconds, then static, then nothing. The next morning his badge was still clocked in, but his locker was empty. His phone was left behind, unlocked. One last Spotify track queued up, but it wouldn't play. We don't know what they are. Sometimes they wear your face, sometimes they wear someone you've never seen before. But they always stand still, always next to the line, and they always turn around if you make a sound. So if you ever see someone just pause next to the conveyor, don't be a hero. Don't ask if they're okay. Don't try to help. Just walk away. And if they turn, if they move at all, run, because by then it's already too late. You learn the floor layout fast when you work here. You have to. Rows and zones and lanes and racks, everything has a place and everything moves fast. So when something doesn't belong, it sticks out. Most people chalk it up to someone else being lazy. Oh, that wasn't my box. But sometimes, it's not laziness. Sometimes the box wasn't there 5 minutes ago because it wasn't supposed to be there at all. Rule 5. If you notice a box that wasn't there 5 minutes ago, do not move it. This one happened to me. End of shift. Around 4:45 a.m., I was dragging, sore all over, halfway through sealing a pallet when I saw it. A box, big one, maybe 2 feet tall, right in the center of lane 6. I froze. I had just walked through that lane 10 minutes earlier, clearing space. I was certain it hadn't been there. It had no label, no barcode, no markings at all. Just plain cardboard. Thick. Like it was reinforced. I figured someone dropped it and forgot. I nudged it with my foot. It didn't move. Not even a wobble. Like it was bolted to the concrete. I bent down, pressed both hands to one side, and gave it a good push. Still nothing. So, because I was tired and irritated and not thinking, I peeled back the tape and opened it. Bad idea. Right away, I gagged. The smell hit like old motor oil mixed with something rotten, thick, metallic, the kind of smell that clings to your nose hairs and doesn't wash off. Inside was shredded foam. Yellowed, soaked through in dark, brownish sludge. Looked like transmission fluid but smelled like blood and ash. And right in the middle of that mess, nestled deep in the soaked foam, I saw a molar. Human. Still had a bit of root on it. Still bloody. I dropped the lid and stumbled back. Almost slipped. There was no scan history. No routing info. When I pulled it up on the handheld, the scanner didn't even register that the box existed. Just a red blink, like I was pointing it at the air. I tried reporting it, even called in a lead. They came, looked, shrugged. When I tried to show them the molar, it was gone. Just foam. Dry, clean, like it had never been soaked. They told me I was sleep deprived, suggested I take a personal day. But that night, when I checked the footage, because yes, I have access, I found something weird. The camera blinked out for 3 minutes. Static, then nothing. When the feed came back, the box was there, like it had just appeared. So if you're walking your zone and see something you're sure wasn't there before, something that feels off, trust your gut. Don't touch it. Don't open it. Don't even scan it. Because some boxes aren't meant to be delivered. By now, I'm guessing you've stopped believing this is all just hazing. Most people try to laugh it off at first. They think I'm messing with them. That all these rules are just the way we blow off steam during night shifts that run too long. But not you. You've been quiet, watching, listening. That's good. That's what keeps you alive in here. Because some of these things, they don't care how strong you are, how fast you move, or how smart you think you are. They only care about one thing: whether you follow the rules. Rule 6. If a returned package smells like copper, meat, or burnt plastic, take it to locker 9. Do not wait. Do not look back. The returns department gets weird stuff all the time. Packages that show up with no sender. Things addressed to people who don't exist in the system. Boxes that are too heavy for their size, or worse, too light. Most of the time, it's just shipping errors. But sometimes, it's something else. Devin handled that area before it became automated. One of the best workers we had. Always early, always quiet. The kind of guy who got every barcode on the first scan. He didn't talk much, but when he did, he always sounded grounded. Like someone who didn't scare easy. That night, I ran into him during lunch break. He looked pale, like he hadn't slept. I asked him if everything was okay. He nodded, then hesitated. "It's whispering now," he said. "Did you hear that?" I thought he meant the intercom feedback. Sometimes it hums if the techs don't tune it right. But he shook his head. "Not that. From the box. Like it's asking me for help." He was gone before I could say anything else. The security footage shows most of what happened next. A return came down the line, about the size of a shoebox. Sealed with duct tape in layers, like someone was trying to make sure it never opened. No return label, no tracking number, no customer reference. Devin didn't scan it, just picked it up slowly, cradling it like something fragile. He sniffed once, recoiled slightly, then tightened his grip. Carried it like a package made of glass and bone. I've seen that hallway 100 times. The lockers are old, most of them rusted. They don't even have locks anymore, except one. Locker 9. It's different. You'd walk right past it if you didn't know better. No number on the front. Just a faint red mark, almost like a burn, that keeps reappearing no matter how many times we paint over it. Devin walked right up to it, opened it, and paused. You can't see what's inside. The angle's wrong, but his face changed. His expression softened. He nodded once, like someone accepting a job or a sentence. Then he slid the box inside. The moment the door closed, the screen glitched. The image scrambled like an old VHS tape getting chewed up. When the feed resumed, he was gone. Just gone. We found his badge still clocked in. His locker was open, nothing inside but his lunchbox, still full, and his phone. The alarm on it had been going off for 15 minutes. Repeating the same note over and over until the battery finally died. I checked the locker hallway myself. Locker 9 was shut. The handle felt warm. The smell coming from the seam was worse than anything I've ever experienced. Like burning copper, spoiled meat, and melted wiring all tangled together. I've had to file incident reports for severed fingers, for busted heads, for crushed limbs. None of them made me gag. This did. The janitor we called in to clean up backed out after one whiff. Said it wasn't a biohazard. Said it was something worse. We never opened it. Not because we couldn't, but because none of us wanted to know what we'd find if we did. It's still there. Right now, probably less than 50 feet from where we're standing. And every so often, someone hears something breathing in there. No one's supposed to go near it anymore, but I still check sometimes, just to make sure the handle's still there. Just to make sure it's still closed. So that's it. All 6. Some of them are easy to follow, some aren't. But if you forget even one, you won't get a second chance. We don't get warnings in here, we get vanishings, and if you stick around long enough, you'll see the difference. People come and go. Some stick around if they are not scared after their first week. You seem to be a good listener. I hope you don't break any rules. We need more people like you. Now, you said earlier you smelled something in your tote bin, right? Burnt wires, maybe? Yeah. That's not good. Go take your break, I'll check it for you. We want you to walk out of here alive, right?